On the line by Brandon Jay McLaren to look ahead to the upcoming Season 3 premiere of Ransom, which is out on June the 17th on channel Universal TV here in Ireland and the UK. And first of all, Brandon, how excited are you for the whole global audience to see the premiere, the debut of Season 3 of Ransom?
I gotta say, I'm really excited. I really truly believe this is our best season so far. I think we've ratcheted up the drama. I think we've ratcheted up the personal stories of the four of us, and I think those two together make the show, make Season 3 the best version of the show yet.
Yeah, and I suppose, Brandon, as we are aware of, there's 2 seasons of Ransom already. You're a team of crisis negotiators. You travel the globe solving complex negotiations and conflict resolution. So, travelling the globe, what parts of the globe are you going to be visiting in Season 3 of Ransom?
That's a great question. Off the top of my head, I think we hit up a couple of the cities in Canada and the U.S. like we normally do. I know we start off the season in Budapest, where we left off in Season 2, where Eric had that sort of that situation with Elaine, and various other cities in Europe. So it's going to be another great season of us globe-trotting, trying to solve really, really complex, high-stakes ransom kidnapping situations.
Yeah, and I suppose as well, the plots and the storylines, it can be anything from an FBI to a sort of a child abduction from a wealthy sort of family. So you tackle every broad of the spectrum, no matter whether it's the right top to the lesser extents.
Yeah, it's so funny. Once you sort of really dig into the world of kidnapping and ransom, people can hold anything of value over your head to try to extort money from you. So, we can, from kidnapping people to kidnapping, blood samples for somebody who needs some kind of transplant. So anything that somebody can hold over your head for any kind of value, we deal with. What's really interesting is, a lot of these governments say that they don't negotiate with hostage takers and or terrorists and or people that take for ransom. A lot of times they don't negotiate, but what they'll do is they'll outsource the negotiation to a private firm, kind of like what we do, crisis resolution, to get these conflicts solved sort of behind the scenes.
Yeah, and I suppose, Brandon, can you? I'm going to take you back a bit now and sort of jog your memory, but maybe you can inform our viewers how you were originally cast in the role of Oliver Yates.
Well, it's actually quite a funny story. So, initially, for me, this whole thing came out of nowhere, very last minute. I had sent an audition tape, and I didn't hear anything for about a month. And there was another project that the same casting people were doing. Agent, just like a month later. Yeah. Hey, what about Brandon for Ransom? And my agent was like, yeah, we sent the tape like a month ago. We didn't get any response. And the casting people were like, well, we didn't get a tape.
Right.
They never actually really got my initial tape. So at the 11th hour, I had to scramble to try to find the tape. I was cast and I was flying out of LA to Toronto. So it was a pretty crazy 3 days.
Yeah, and I suppose as the show Ransom, you have been all over the world in relation to the actual show, but as an actual tight-knit sort of a family, as a cast, yourself and Luke Roberts and Nazneen, Contractor and Sarah Greene, you must have grown awful close over the 3 seasons. You must have done over like 30 episodes of at the moment, like.
Yeah, so over that time we all become very close, and like I said, there's something unique and special about filming away from your home, and we were all filming away from our homes, so you have to rely on each other in a different way than you would if we were all filming where we live. Yeah. Over that time we've developed quite a close-knit friendship, and it also, we spend a lot of time together because the nature of the show is the four cast members are often in the same room, so it really helps when you can get on with the people and you have a real affinity for them. It makes the job a lot easier.
Yeah, and I suppose, Brandon, maybe you can I can break you down in relation to the shooting of in each episode. Maybe you can inform our viewers from the time you get the script from each episode, whether it be a table read or to block shooting or shooting in a particular location. How long does it take actually? What's the working week like on Ransom, and how long does it take to actually shoot one episode?
Well, we usually shoot one episode in 8 shooting days. We usually get the episodes a week in advance, so we can kind of read and prepare a little bit. 8 days. We usually do a table read sometime for the next episode while we're filming the previous episode. And we do it roughly about, 11 to 12-hour days. Usually we're all there pretty much, Monday to Friday, those 5 days, and another 3 days the following week. We get the weekends off. I think for us, the most challenging thing to shoot is the VEB, the virtual evidence board.
Yeah.
Because that can take up a lot of time, and you're sort of stuck in one room for maybe the entire day, and you're actually staring at things that aren't really there. So that can actually be quite tiring and quite taxing.
Yeah, and Brandon, maybe you might enlighten our viewers about your own character, Oliver Yates. What type of guy is he, and what would you make of him if if he was walking down the street, the opposite side of the street for you, and someone asked you to describe what that guy is like? What would you say?
Oliver is hyper smart. He's pretty loyal. He's a little standoffish if he doesn't know you, but if he gets to know you and he likes you, he's fiercely loyal. He's also pretty ambitious, I think. What I love about the character is over the 3 seasons, they've kind of, they've really given him room to grow. He starts out in the first season sort of just behind a computer the whole time. And as the show progresses, he's out in the field more. He's getting a little more autonomy. And I think he's starting to value himself and the work that he brings to the team a little more. And so that's been really, really nice for me to be able to play.
Yeah, and sort of in season 3 now, what sort of plots or themes or twists are we going to see apart from the negotiation side? Are we going to learn more about the characters?
Yeah, we definitely are. I think Oliver specifically is going to have to deal with what happened in season 2 with the shooting, and Max that was involved with Maxine, and Maxine leaving the team. That kind of haunts him a little bit through the entire season 3, so we get to see how he deals with that. And also, how what happened with Delane and Eric at the end of season 2, how that kind of haunts Eric. That plays out through the entire season 3 as well. So yeah, there's some really cool through lines that will be able to pay off in season 3.
Yeah, and I suppose as well, Brandon, you must be fairly delighted and thrilled that you are on season 3, that given all the production series that are out there in the US at the moment, and some of them struggling after season 1 to get renewed, to be on season 3 as well, it shows that the show has been a success, not only in the States but globally. And sometimes are you taken back by that?
I'm taking it back. I mean, we all show up to work every day, and we all, try our very best to make the show the best version of the show it can be. But this is the thing, like, you just never know. You never know what shows are going to hit. I've been on shows that I thought were great, and it didn't make it past the pilot. So you never know, and when a show does hit and strike a chord, you got to just ride it and be grateful. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and I suppose, Brandon, what other projects or films or TV series have you in the pipeline for 2019 or early 2020 that might come across to the other side of the pond that we might see on our TV screens or in our movies? Cinemaplex.
Well, nothing right now. We're still waiting to hear if Ransom is going to go for a season 4, so that kind of precludes me from doing a lot of other TV.
Yeah.
But as soon as we know whether it is or it is not going, then I'll be back out there trying to get on something else.
Yeah, and I suppose you mentioned there it's Ransom going ahead for another season 4, and I suppose what if it does get to go ahead? What way do you think they can take the show forward even again? There are several other angles from your side. Do you think that are left to be explored?
I think, we can, I think if we do happen to be lucky enough to get a 4th season, I think, we can maybe move into having the team split off a little more and giving the other characters, like I said, a little more autonomy to kind of do their own thing. And see maybe how the different characters would sort of handle leading different negotiations. I think that would be an interesting angle to explore if we happen to get a season 4.
And I suppose, Brandon, we're here now, we're promoting season 3, the current and the present, and we'll actually, for the last 30 seconds of the interview, we'll hand it over to your own character, Oliver Yates, and he might inform all our viewers why we should tune in on June the 17th for season 3 of Ransom. And we leave it over to Oliver.
Hey everybody, this is Oliver Yates of Ransom. Tune into season 3. It's a rip-roaring, high-flying, action-packed thrill ride, and you're not going to regret tuning in.
Brandon, Jay McLaren, it's been a pleasure talking to you on the airwaves this evening as we look ahead to the upcoming premiere of season 3 of Ransom here in Ireland and obviously in the UK as well on Channel Universal on June the 17th. We wish you all the best success for Ransom season 3 in the States and globally as well, and hopefully it will lead, no doubt about it, it will lead to a season 4 for ye all. Thanks for taking the call, Brandon.
Thank you for your time.
Cheers, thank you.